Payne Award judges for the 2020 Payne Awards for Ethics in Journalism had a really tough decision to make because we had 50 or more really strong entries this year. But we ended up selecting Injustice Watch and Emily and Rick for a couple of important reasons. These two journalists essentially put the future of their organization, of Injustice Watch, an organization that they had built and invested their lives in, they put it on the line. And instead of walking away and saying, we can't afford to do that, they said, no, we're going to run this story. And they ran it. And the result of it, the impact of the story, was changes in police departments, police officers who lost their jobs, policies that were changed.
What the Plainview Project focused on is to try to show across the country a culture within police departments that revealed, through their own words, thinking that was troubling in one way or another. One of the ugly pieces of social media, it has enabled people to say things that they would never otherwise say in polite society. We took all the officers where they had found the officers had troubling pages. We wanted to try to connect words with deeds.
I spent weeks looking through federal civil lawsuits to see whether the officers in the database had been, accused of wrongdoing on the streets, what the result was of those lawsuits, whether they ended in settlements or in favor of the officer or against the officer. We spoke with attorneys, we spoke with individuals who had been the subject of interactions with individual officers who later filed lawsuits and said, that they had been abused by these people. It blew up the myth that this was a few bad apples. And I think for many, the reporting on the existence of these types of comments and statements from law enforcement kind of reinforced what many people of color and others from, generally underrepresented groups already understood about policing and biases that existed in our criminal justice system. Rick and I think, expected there to be backlash from pro-law enforcement groups and from departments. What we instead saw was departments who appeared to take this very seriously, who opened investigations on their own. And I talked to several police groups in cities that had been featured in the database, and those officers expressed a lot of anger and disappointment with their peers who had been posting this stuff on Facebook.
You can't let the fear of how people will react drive you to hide the truth. Being able to tell the truth and tell it fairly and fully is one of the things that keeps our democracy strong.